October 7th, Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh. No, it was Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
My father called me at 7, I guess. We didn't hear nothing at the north. I live up north in Nahariya. We didn't hear. My father called me and he said, Ravit, there is a war outside, do you know? Do you aware of it? And I said, no, okay. We opened TV, everything. And our life changed at that moment. And honestly, I feel like a different person from that morning.
Bruchim habayim. Welcome to Jewish, where everyone belongs. Today, we have a very special guest, a friend, someone I've truly come to love over the last several years, and I know you're going to love if you don't love her already. Ravit Steinmetz-Shemla, our sister, our friend from Nahariya, Israel. I'm so pleased that you're here. Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
And you were telling me Bruchim habayim means welcome everybody. But if I were saying Bruchim habayim to you, I would say
Brucha habaa.
Brucha habaa. And
I will answer Baruch hanimtza.
Baruch hanimtza, ani lo mevin ze. That means I don't understand this. Aval ani medaber ketzad ivrit.
אתה מדבר מצוין.
Perfect. כשאני הייתי ילד קטן hamorim. I'm saying when I was a young boy or a small boy, I learned Hebrew from teachers who were from Israel. And they were, have we talked about this before?
No.
Oh my God. So, this was like the early 1980s. And they were older Israeli women. So I have to imagine, let's just say in their 20s, it was the 1940s. And so these were the toughest Israeli women. Geveret Alshul. She was amazing. And yeah, so I learned Hebrew. It's so nice to have you from Nahariya, Israel, here in northern New Jersey.
So nice to be here. It feels like a family away from family.
Yeah, and so tell us when you arrived.
I arrived Friday morning.
And today is Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday before Shavuot,
Yeah.
right? Tomorrow is Shavuot.
Yeah.
And then I'm going back home.
Okay, and for everyone's benefit, Ravit works with Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey in Israel, is our point person. Nahariya is our sister city, and we're going to talk about Nahariya in detail so that everyone learns about it. But we're going to really dive into, I hope, a perspective, your experience over the last 2 years and 2 years and 9 months or so since October 7th, 2023. And I think it could be emotional. I'm getting emotional. I was saying to Ravit's not going to, Ravit's strong. I'm the one who's going to be a mess. But then you're here because Federation has an exhibit. Is that right? You're here for the heroines exhibit?
Exactly. We brought the exhibit from, Jason saw it in Nahariya first. It's heroines, 50 heroines from October 7, 50 brave women, some alive. A lot of them were killed. And we brought the stories here to New Jersey, and it's amazing to see the people here.
Yeah.
Like how much they care and how much they support. And to hear the families talking about the daughters, we came with 2 parents who lost their daughters to soldiers, Roni Eshel and Adar Ben Simon. How brave they were, how they fought the same day, and how they lost their life.
Okay, so let's get into it. Because it's October 7th, Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh. No, it was Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
My father called me at 7, I guess. We didn't hear nothing at the north. I live up north in Nahariya. We didn't hear. My father called me and he said, Ravit, there is a war outside, do you know? Do you aware of it? And I said, no, okay. We opened TV, everything. And our life changed at that moment. And honestly, I feel like a different person from that morning. During the day, we saw videos, we heard, we didn't understand actually what was going on. We didn't understand for days, I think, what is really happening. I remember that Jason called me when he woke up.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and he said, Ravit, there are more than 100 people that were killed. And I said, no way. I mean, 100 people for Israel, it's a lot.
Yeah.
No way there's 100 people.
Just to contextualize, if you make that equivalent to the U.S., 100 people it's roughly 35 times. That's like 3,500 American people relative to our population size. So, September 11th was, we lost around, I think, 2,900 people. So 100 people being killed is equivalent to a 9/11, a September 11th. Go on.
And eventually we know that it was 1,200 people.
1,200
people that were killed at that day.
Yeah, that's equivalent to 40,000 approximately. 40,000 Americans. Imagine, I'm sure a lot of people have thought about this. Imagine people came across the Mexico border. We'll use it in New Jersey because New Jersey is, of course, just about the same size as Israel. And so imagine if people from Pennsylvania or New York City came across and 1,200 people, 240 taken hostage?
250.
250 people taken hostage, 1,200 people. So Jason calls you, Jason Shamus from Federation calls you,
and I was like in a bubble, I guess, that we didn't actually understand it, not just me, but we were afraid at that moment because the IDF and everyone thought that it's going to be the same from the north.
Yeah.
And we live up north. So we closed the doors, we closed the windows, we were isolated in our house for a few days.
Well, so Nahariya is roughly 5 kilometers from the border with Lebanon.
5 miles.
5 miles. So 5 miles from the border from Lebanon. So 5 miles, that's like 10 minutes if you're driving 30 miles an hour. Right. And we'll talk about the board mission. We were there in November with you. So it's also on the water.
Right.
And so you have the ability for people to come across on the water. So you shut the doors, you locked down.
Everything was shut down.
Shut down.
Everything.
So is it like COVID?
Exactly like COVID, but we were afraid of our life. We couldn't go outside. We couldn't do anything. Like in COVID, you could walk outside, go to the beach. But in that time, you could do nothing.
Yeah.
Just stay at home, close everything, and wait.
And at the time, your kids were how old?
My son was 22. The other one was right before the army service, 18, and my young girl is 13.
She was 13 then.
She was 13 then.
Yeah. And so what was the communication like with your older?
With my kids.
Yeah.
My oldest asked me 2 days after that.
Yeah.
He asked me, Mom, what do you think was worst for me? To be kidnapped or be killed? And as a mother, when you have to answer something like this, it was very hard, very difficult. And my answer was, I would prefer that you were being killed. Mm-hmm. And until now, I think if my answer was right to him. Yeah. And my second was right before his service, and we knew that he's going to fight.
Yeah.
And Noah, my youngest, she was 13. All the schools were closed. She couldn't see her friends. And we are staying at home. I think that it was a week
Yeah.
that we didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, okay, so, and I'm just to share from my experience. I'm glad I got the tissues because it was so, it was so, to me, sitting here clear, I, for some reason, I woke up to see what was going on. And I just knew that people here didn't know. And I didn't know what was I knew there was confusion of Israel, but what I knew was it was like this was a pot that was about to blow open, and that this was going to be very bad. And so I remember I was with my son. He was at a golf lesson, and I'm just going through and I'm like, I don't think anyone knows or appreciates what is going on here. And then we went out to dinner with friends, and couldn't speak. And my wife was like, what is wrong? I'm like, I don't think, because no one knew what was going on, to your point. And we left. Like, we basically left. I couldn't sit there because it was so, what was going on in the heroines exhibit, knowing that our kids, and we'll talk more as we get in, and it's your kids, are fighting for their lives as we're sitting there. Fighting for their lives, fighting for Israel's life as we're sitting here. And it is a small country. It's like New Jersey, as we said. And we're being attacked, and we know when it comes from one side, it doesn't just stop. And the point of it coming from the north where you were, it was it was very unclear for quite some time that we weren't going to see significant activity. So
at first it was unclear, and we were staying at home, as I said, but it was so challenging in so many levels.
Tell me.
You care about your kids, you care about your family that are not close to you, and you want to know what about them. Everyone in Israel knows someone who got affected from October 7th, so you started to go to funeral and shiva calls, and you have to embrace friends because everyone affected. And you have to call friends and see friends that they lost their child.
Yeah. And so in Nahariya, were there lives lost on October 7th?
Yes. Kids who were in the Nova Festival were killed, and 2 soldiers were killed in October 7th. Mm-hmm. During the war, there were more.
Yeah.
But
yes.
And here at Federation, we have a beautiful honoring wall with all the names of the Nahariya soldiers that were killed since October 7.
I want to get to the board mission as we progress forward, because we have 2 years of progressing forward. But I will say, so when we were in Nahariya in November, it was so emotional to see and be with the families who've lost family members, children, since October 7th, and even before October 7th, and I've had family members who've died at young ages, and it was so emotional. And we were at a small gathering, which included the stories of each of the people who've been lost by their family members. And, you just don't get over losing a child, losing someone like that. And it is just devastating. And I know we in New Jersey and we, the Jewish community, have this, pure united feel. Like I only am here to serve our community, and our community includes my brothers and sisters in Israel. And if I could make your life better, your life easier and feel better, make the last 2 years' lives better.
You actually do.
Well, I don't think...
No, you do. By supporting us, by send videos from the staff, the federation staff, send video with songs and everything, and just a call, a WhatsApp text that it makes us feel that we're not alone.
Yeah.
We are there, very far away from you, but someone embraces you, someone sees you, and it's very important. And so for the Nahariya people, for the community, because you supported a lot of needs that raise up, like shelters. In Nahariya, we have 15 minutes to go to the shelter, to find the shelter when we have the siren. So just imagine that 15 minutes, it's nothing. Like you have to find a shelter. So if you're outside, it's impossible.
Well, and the schools weren't
in schools.
Yeah, the schools didn't have enough shelters so that they could hold classes for all of the students.
True.
Yeah.
So it was very helpful and very needed.
Yeah.
And all the mental health support that you provided. So it's everything. We really feel like one mishpacha. One family.
זה מה שאנחנו חושב. Vidaber. That's something we think and we say. אנחנו חושב. We think.
And it's exactly like this.
One family, one community. So, okay, we'll come back to that, but just progressing through. So a week of just probably watching what's happening on the television.
That's the old thing.
So how did like one move forward to begin? Because it wasn't begin living. It was begin like taking a step towards something. So what was that first step of like, we need to like do something?
So first, all the communities, like Northern area, was evacuated by the municipality, by the government. So Nahariya became the front line.
Yeah.
And
so you're saying everything north, the 5 miles north to the Lebanon border was evacuated because it was so close.
Very dangerous, so close to the border.
And how far in the south on October 7th miles did the terrorists come in? How many miles did they penetrate? Up to, I want to say it was 15 miles?
Yeah.
20?
Even less. Yeah.
Less. Thinking
that's
about...
the max.
Yeah, so 10, 15 miles, and Nahariya is 5 miles.
Right. And we know because Hezbollah shows us videos that Nahariya was their mission. They wanted to take Nahariya.
Yeah. And so they evacuate the north, and now it's the front line. Yeah.
All schools
and
were closed.
There were, 60,000 people north of Nahariya that were evacuated?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone we started as helpless, but then we rised.
Yeah.
And there were volunteers everywhere.
Yeah.
People cooked for soldiers, baked for families that they reserved. They have, like, the father is on reserve duty, so they bake. They help with the kids. People helped for farmers to pick fruits. People try to do things just to make them be active.
Yeah. Well, and we know Hezbollah did not come right in, but when did the first rockets start coming from Lebanon and from Hezbollah?
When it started, I don't remember when, but when it started, it was very scary.
Well, so, but before we go to that, I'm trying to remember, like, it was not immediately.
Not immediately.
Which-
It was like 2 weeks, maybe.
Oh, it was 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
it's like there was this period of, like, are they coming?
Right.
What is
Are they
going on in the South?
True.
What are, like, these are our
Seeing all
kids,
the
our friends'
videos.
kids. These are everyone we know, people we know. Our kids are going to be going to war to protect our country. And let's remember, there was, and I told you I'd be an emotional wreck here. By no means, it's not like, oh, you go to war and it's assured that you survive. Because when I went over, in like 3 months after October 7th, I came away of one of the many feelings like, yeah, we don't know what the outcome is here. This is what later became known as the Ring of Fire, of 7 groups collectively coming after a small country led by Iran and funded by Iran. And so a couple weeks in, 2, 3, 4 weeks in, the rockets start.
The rockets start. Again, we couldn't do much. We had to be near shelters.
Yeah.
So there were parents with little kids at home for months.
Yeah.
Just like COVID, but with the fear of going out even to the parks.
Yeah.
You could do nothing.
And in Nahariya, how many people live in Nahariya? Is it 80,000?
It's almost 80,000.
Yeah, 80,000 people.
And most of them stayed. Some families lived by themselves, left to the center of Israel, but most of them stayed.
Well, and it's super important to that very point about leaving, like even in very much north of Nahariya, is as soon as we start leaving and moving towards center Israel, it becomes a very, very small place. It's essentially Haifa, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and you have it's probably like 50-mile, 80-mile circumference, and so having the fullness of even the small
from the
country.
south and from the north, they were all in the center of Israel.
But of the 80,000 or so people who live in Nahariya, what percentage have in their apartments bomb shelters?
In their apartments,
Yeah.
less than 50%.
Less than 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of them has at the building,
Yeah.
like they have to get down to the shelter.
Yeah.
As you can assume, they don't have in 15 minutes, they don't get to the shelter. Yeah. So most of them wait in the stairs or they find some place that is about to be safe.
Yeah.
And there are people that don't have it even in the building, so they have to run to community center or something, some place that have a shelter.
And how often?
So during the last war, people, just families with small kids or old people, they just moved to live in the shelters because they didn't have time. 15 minutes, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this then becomes, now we're into November, into December, and the sirens at this point is the sirens every few hours? It's totally sporadic.
Every few hours.
Every few hours.
Hours, yeah.
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 Okay.
And you're on the way to the doctor, on the way to the grocery store, and you need to find the shelter. And you have to, what I did, and I know that others, we mapped out our way to, on my mind, I mapped out the way. How should I go? Where should I turn? Just in order that if there will be a siren, I'll find the shelter, or I'll have a place that I can lie down and hold my head.
Yeah.
So,
and this is where Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey, led by really some beautiful anchor investors really came together to want to make sure that there were shelters and enough shelters and as many shelters as possible to protect our family in Nahariya. And also I remember in the early days, Nahariya had its own security force in helping fund provisions for the security force because, the community, was called up to active duty.
Right.
And so you have the military that's, in the south, you have the military going to the north, but you need to protect. And there was real concern, again, coming from the water. It was a
So
significant
it was a lesson
risk.
we learned this lesson from October 7th from the south. And then the mayor on October 8th, he decided he wants his own group.
Yeah.
And we also help with this. We help to buy things
To
for them.
provide the resources. Yeah.
Yes,
And so, okay, so now my question is, so Jason came to Israel within, I think, 2 weeks of October 7th. When was the first time you left Nahariya to kind of
when Jason came to Israel.
Within a couple of weeks,
Yes,
you went to meet.
it was the first time I left Nahariya. I met him in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And then a week after, we had the mission. So we went down to the south, and for me, the job with the Jewish Federation, it was an anchor. It's something that I felt like this makes me focused, grounded. This what makes me mental health. It helped me with, for sure.
And it's your strength to be able to be a leader, be the leader in the community, and be in Nahariya, be one of the leaders in Israel. I mean, I cannot properly thank you enough. And I can't, for those who haven't been to Israel or weren't in Israel in the weeks or months after October 7th, I can never properly convey the devastation. I mean, the absolute and utter devastation. And so I can share like my experience, but do you want to share your experience in going down, the first time to the south, which I'm sure you had seen on TV, but you went down. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So there was even 3 weeks after, it still smells like fire, or we went to see the cars. So you just felt the people. You felt the murder. You felt what happened there. We talked to people that were actually part of everything, and it was devastated to hear the stories and to be there and to see what happened. I could hardly breathe, actually. Yeah. I couldn't. And I know that everyone, I have a lot of friends that haven't been there yet in the south.
Yeah.
Friends from the north, they didn't see it yet. It was very difficult to do it, to go there, to see all the destroy, all the kibbutzim, all the houses, and the hostages that we knew about them.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You said you can't breathe, and I very much understand not going to the south and I understand it if you're Israeli. I understand it if you're American. It is truly traumatic to see evil in that way, it is a life-altering situation to be able to see that's even possible in humanity. And yeah, it does take your breath away. And I remember, when I came, and obviously you can tell how emotional I get, it was on par with the devastating loss of my mother when I was in my 20s, and which was terrible. But the idea. And when did you go to Nova first? Did you go on the first trip to Nova?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. We just heard how they raped the women, what they did to the bodies. Zaka people were talking to us, and he just told us how he had to take the women. They were tied to the trees, and he had to take scissors just to take them out of the... Terrible to think what people went through by animals. It's even not animals, like monsters. It's not people when you heard the stories.
And it's... So the Zaka people, and the head of Zaka, who I met with when I was at Nova, he asked us to bear witness and to observe the work that he did and he led, and the pictures that he took that are not shared because they're so horrific. And it is.
And we even know now that some of them took their life after months, after 2 months, because they couldn't live with what they saw at that day. So
yeah. And okay, so the bringing of people on these missions, or to visit, to show our support, it was such a gift for you to lead that. And I'm glad that you felt, that it was your mission. And because it was so, to me, the hardest part is putting you and putting other Israelis in the position where they have to see this. And it's your
important.
reality.
I think that it's important, like you go to Poland, when you go to Poland to see the camps.
Yeah.
I think that it's the same. You have to see, we have to remember as a nation, we have to remember what happened in October 7, and what we have to, not going to happen again, as they said in the Holocaust, but...
And we have to remember, and I will expand, as a people, as a Jewish people, and I would like to, as much as anybody, put my head in the sand, like, the ostriches. I love the ostriches. You like the ostriches?
No.
Why? You don't like it?
Because I don't like to put my hand in the sand.
Well, no, but as an animal, it's a cute animal. I mean, it's funny. I don't know. No, I would like to put my head in the sand and pretend as though it's not, the world isn't going on. But the reality is very clear when you see true evil. And I will, there's an ad. Well, I won't get into there's an ad that has nothing to do with being Jewish or anything, but the idea that this would ever be acceptable, what was done to these babies, these children, these families, deliberately. There's no these were innocent people. These were people who would go to the border and bring the people living in Gaza to hospitals on every Friday. And those same people were rummaging through their house.
And raped and killed and
burned. Everything was being burned around. Hundreds killed, a quarter of a community of 400, 119 either killed or taken hostage. And the people who were being helped were just rummaging through, taking the plates and the silverware and the kids' bikes as the remaining people were holding on for dear life. Okay, so moving forward, we now, tell me about, as a mother, your kids in service. What are they doing in this, and how are you feeling through this?
So my oldest is, he went to a duty service.
Yeah.
He served for a year. Now he's a student, so he's not there anymore. My second, he is a fighter. He's sometimes in the north, sometimes in Gaza, in and out Lebanon. You can imagine how I live, how my days look like when I don't know exactly where he is or what he's doing. I just told him, let me know when you're in and out. So that's what he promised me.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do.
I can't imagine. I don't think it's fair. I can't even, your strength, the strength of...
But I'm not alone.
I know.
Everyone is. Everyone is in the same situation.
Okay, so we're in 2024, and I think we should move forward all the way. So we go through 2024, the year moves on, and it probably had to feel like the slowest.
It's like we started to normalize something that is not normal.
Yeah.
And schools kind of opened.
Yeah.
First, they were on Zoom, then they were in small groups because everyone needs to be near a shelter.
Yeah.
So it was small groups. And then schools were open when we had a kind of ceasefire. My daughter's school is very, very close to the border. And
Really?
it was scary to send her. So for a few weeks, we didn't send her. As parents, we decided not to send. The school was open. We decided that she's not going. But then she wanted, because she wanted to be with her friends. So I had to send her to a school that I didn't feel like she's protected there. Some businesses started to open. We had a cafe. We had a restaurant. But we were trying to be normal, but it wasn't normal situation.
And the hostages, they're still...
And the hostages.
Yeah. And
We kept here all the stories, all the evidence of the ones who came back. And we will fight for them. This was our goal, just to bring them home, back home.
How much of your day or Israelis' days were listening to the news and what exactly was happening kind of minute by minute with respect to the war, with respect to the hostages?
I was on the news 24/7.
Yeah.
With apps, with WhatsApp, everything. I couldn't move. Even when I do work with my computer, the television was open, or there were radio or something.
Yeah.
We had to know. I needed to know everything.
So, okay, I think about this relative to mental health, which you touched on and we've touched on, and is something that is a very significant issue in Israel. And if the brain is not designed to be in fight or flight mode at all times, if you scare a deer, the deer is very scared, and then about 15 seconds later, the deer is eating grass. No problem. How is the mental health challenges being dealt with in Israel?
So first of all, it doesn't.
It doesn't
It
get
doesn't.
dealt. It's not
as
dealt
a country. No.
with. No. Oh, God.
Soldiers get help from the IDF. Reserve duty get help. Most of the people, I think that almost everyone in Israel need help. There are not enough therapists in Israel right now. And I think that we are still in the process to get help and to end this, because we need to end this. Not all the kids get help. Everyone needs some help.
So this has been one of the,
But this is one of our strengths, just to, I think, that do normal thing in life.
Yeah.
And it helps. It helps. When you stay in your community and you stay with your friends, this is something that can help.
Now, okay, so in one of Jewish Federation, as you know, we've responded, whether it was the shelters, whether it was helping with the police force, and then certainly with mental health. It's just progressing through where the needs are and trying to partner with organizations who can bring therapists who can help fill that need, who work with at-risk youth. And, so just if you look at your friends, if you look at yourself, how after multiple years of being in this struggle, and there's been periods where it's been calm.
Right.
How, is on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we as far as people feeling? Are people feeling 5? Are people feeling 2? Are people feeling 7? Mental health wise, not as far as hope or where we are with respect to, ending this.
I think that most people are at 7, 8.
Really?
They're in good shape, yeah.
Okay. And are you able to, is there a lot of, are people openly talking about mental health and where they are? Because I know when we've met with various people in the military, they're very much focused on talking about where they are. They're very open with their being emotional. They've really tried to build a culture of that. But what about in your friend group? What about people, are people
We are
open?
talking about it the whole time.
Great.
It's it's a peer group that you feel very comfortable to
Great.
talk. And it helps to talk with friends and family.
Yeah.
And we talk. We talk the whole time.
Okay. Moving forward to November, when we came in, one of the great, I think, experience has been chairing Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey and coming with the board, or a number of the board and their spouses or others in visiting Israel in November. And it was very interesting. And I say that relative to when I was there in the months after October 7th, to see the differences. And you say 7 or 8. This is November. We arrived, before it started. I think we started on a Sunday. I arrived a day or two beforehand, and we were in Tel Aviv, and it was like November. It's an 80-degree day. The beach was packed. The boardwalk was packed. It was like the greatest place in the entire world, and it felt so good. So that's, I
in
get
Israel,
that.
they're happy. Usually they're happy people, and they're trying to be happy, although the situation.
These were happy people.
Like during the last war, people were in the stand of Israel. They have, I don't remember, but I think 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The alert. They have the alert, and then they have 10 minutes to find the shelter. So people went with glasses of wine to the shelter.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
They
and
went
I heard,
out of the restaurant with the glasses of wine.
well, I
It's
heard at
nice.
some shelters they had, as you were going down, you had to take a shot. It was like noon. They pour you a shot, take a shot, go down, one shot. Then it's like siesta time. You know what a siesta is? Yeah, it's nap time after. But remember, November, to that point, November was only like 4 months after the 12-day war and the ballistic missiles hitting Tel Aviv. And I was talking about this with a friend a few days ago relative to kids going on birthright, and like, it is this dichotomy or polarized where it's like terrifying, and then it's like the deer. 10 minutes later, you're back eating grass, or in this case, sitting out having coffee or on the boardwalk. It was so incredible. And then we began on Sunday, and then we went down south, and then you're back into, and you're seeing the progress, but you're also, and it's also like going to Nova. And I get so emotional every time you go to Nova and you see time elapsing from what Nova was in the, weeks, months after to where it's progressing to. And when I get so emotional because those kids there are the most beautiful kids, the 330 or so, the most beautiful children, could be any of our kids, there to have fun, to celebrate peace and love and be at a music festival. My kids go to music festivals. They love it. It's just so horrible. But to see time elapse, and you don't want to forget, and you never want to forget, because we can't be the ostrich. We cannot be the ostrich. We have to be aware of what is, when people are saying they want us dead, we better pay attention. We better take that seriously.
Yeah. And I hope that we will next time.
And so, okay, so November, we come on the board mission, and we had Donna on the podcast who walked through the board mission, and we went up north. And I just want to share with Nahariya. First of all, I would say, I was thinking about how can I contextualize what it's like for people who may have never even heard of Nahariya. I think it's like Fort Lauderdale. You ever heard of Fort Lauderdale?
I've heard. I haven't been there. Yeah.
Very much like Nahariya.
Coastal.
Beautiful. It's on the water. It's kind of small, but like there's still a lot of people. It's really nice. People know each other. Touristy. Would you say it's touristy? Little touristy.
It used to be.
Yeah. So, but from Nahariya, we went up to the border. And so we were standing, we spent basically half a day on the border with Lebanon. Beautiful area. And then we went, and the mayor met us for lunch to one of the great restaurants I've ever been. Do you know what restaurant I'm talking about?
Shefi.
Shefi. When you're in Israel, you go up north, you go to Shefi. We had steak. It was insane, honestly, and you're in the most beautiful, it's like being in Napa Valley. Spectacular, yes?
Nachon.
Betach. Betach?
Betach.
Betach. Okay. And I guess I skipped over one part, which was when we were going up to Nahariya. We stopped in another place, which was so beautiful. And we met with a woman whose daughter was held hostage for
Romi
400.
Gonen.
Romi
Gonen.
who's extremely well known, famous, was one of the leading advocates for the hostages. She changed the world, I believe. In her voice changed the world. And I say this to everybody, is each of us can change the world. We all can change the world. She changed the world, and she would describe herself as just a normal person. I think those would be her words.
Right.
And anyone who would meet her would say, this is no normal person. This is one of the most amazing people. And her daughter, after 419 days, was it 419? came home. I mean, a miracle, really miracle, and not a miracle that she helped make happen. Yeah.
And she always believed that her daughter is fine.
Yeah.
She just told us that, and she woke up every day with a smile, waiting for her daughter.
Yeah.
And she believed that everything is going to be okay.
And she worked to make it all okay. And that's, I think, the trick is that optimism and that positivity with the work, which is the work you do. And when you talk about having a purpose and your positivity, and you know how much I love you and how
I feel the same.
you could, because whenever we from New Jersey come, you are there with your smile and welcoming, and we know we're home. We're home in Israel. We're home in Nahariya. And hopefully when you come here, you know you're home.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
Really. It is home.
I know you have a lot to do. I want to thank you for being here. If you could tell everybody in New Jersey one thing, you don't have to, but if you were to tell anybody one thing about Israel or about your feeling towards New Jersey or anything, you have anything?
You know, in Hebrew we say that there is a need for a village to raise a kid. Do you have the same?
It takes a village to raise.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
A baby?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel that we need the whole Jewish people to raise a country.
Yeah.
So all your help is so important. Your help, your support, your care about Israel is so important, because Israel, it's strong Israel means that it's the strong Jewish people everywhere.
Yeah. And I firmly, and from my heart, believe we are one.
We are one.
There is no difference.
נכון.
Ravit, toda rabba.
תודה לך.
Thank you.